Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Life Coach Shaun, the man from Pasig City from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Inspired Fidelity. And this coaching conversation are for people who wants to walk an inspired fidelity. And my mission is to be able to empower men to be mentally fit so that you can stay inspired to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. If you're someone who has achieved a lot of success in the corporate world, who have achieved a lot of success in the workplace, but you feel that there's still something missing in your life, there's still something that you want to accomplish, there's still something in that heart and mind of yours that you can't seem to fulfill. Let's have a conversation. This is for you. I want to be able to help you out so that you can start really living that meaningful and that fulfilling life. At times you get to question if the things that you're doing right now is really what life is all about and if there is more in it. If you are that person, welcome to our conversation. Thank you for joining me live today, and please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are presently located as of this very moment. Tag your friends, circulate this video, and let's more help more people who might be in need of what I'll be sharing with you this session. And if you give them a shout out, give them some inspiring message, say hi to them. It's a Thursday afternoon here in the Philippines. Good weather outside so far by far. I hope everything is well for you. For most of you who's working from home, maybe you seldom go out. Like me, I seldom go out. I still have to schedule a time for us for a family time to go into nature, maybe go to the beach somewhere and just a moment with the family. And that is something that we all need. We all need some sun in our life. We all need some nature in our life. That's something that keeps our mind clear of all of the stresses and all of the pressures that we're receiving or we're getting as we live. If you're watching this on a replay, please do comment hashtag replay. I appreciate you sharing your, just telling us that, hey, I'm watching. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am streaming by FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI-Connect. If you are new to the platform, please like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. All right. Thank you, Coach, Life Coach Trisha. Maraming salamat for joining me. If this is the first time you're joining me, I am a certified professional certified co-actively co-create life coach, and I'm also a certified mental health coach. In my professional life, I'm a call center executive for one of the Fortune 500 companies offering global services and consultancy work. Currently, I'm helping the company with workforce management. That is what I help with in a consultancy work for one of their call center operation. And the workforce management is an art and science of putting the right people at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. So that's what I do. I help people make sure that they have the right people, they have the right, those people are in the right place in the right time, doing all of the right things so that the business is profitable and the business is efficient. I've been in the call center industry for more than 14 years now. So if you are someone who's looking for a workforce management consultant in your call center operation, let's have a conversation. Let me help you out there and coach your team as well, specific to their leadership, skills. In my personal life, I'm married. I've been married for 19 years now. We are blessed to have two children. My wife, you know her. She does her coaching Think Talk every Monday at 4 p.m. So you want to know more about relationship, if you want to understand, if you want to go, develop your relationship, if you're a woman, of course, if you want to develop your relationship with your spouse, your children, your parents, and if you want to, just let go of all of those stresses and pressures that you've experienced in your life, have a conversation with her at 4 p.m. every Monday. So that's coaching for relationship with Coach Tin Di Hoya. Yeah, as a father, I have two children. My oldest now is 20 years old, so it's been a while. It's been a while for me. I've been a father for more than 19 years, 20 years na pala, 20 years na, and it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful moment as well for you to be able to understand what are the opportunities that you have as a parent, as a father specifically. I've grown into a uh, parenting style, my father specifically, that's not really there for me. physically. I mean, he's supporting as well, financially, and all of those things that father needs to do. But it's not often that he's able to have that conversation with me. So this one, it's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new way of parenting my children, and that's something that I'm super super proud of. And it's great to be able to see your children doing the things that they love and loving the things that they do, because that's the way that we change our conversation with our children. We don't just tell them that, hey, take this kind of course, take all of this for you to be able to, have a high salary, all of these different things. No, we've shifted that focus to focus on the children, to finding what they really, or their heart is really desiring. So that is one. I know our daughter is a animator. So if you're looking for someone to, do some animation in your work, in your business, if you're looking for consulting work, or looking for work in that space, message us here at Life Coach Philippines. We'll be happy to help, connect with you with our daughter. And my son is now 16 years old. He's turning senior high school coming in this year, and I'm so excited for him. He decided to b- be an automotive be in the automotive industry and want to be an influencer there. So we're looking forward to him. He's going to be a entrepreneur, which we're helping him in that area. That is something that me specifically, I'm not. I'm transitioning towards an entrepreneur. I've been in the corporate for the longest time, and that is something that I haven't developed. And for the last 3 years or 4 years at least, that is something that we're developing as an entrepreneurial mindset, and we're passing down to our children what we're learning, and that is something that's influencing them so that they can start being an entrepreneur rather than working in the corporate. And I have no problems with them working in the corporate. I'm an employee in the corporate world, but I want them to be different. I want them to live that kind of life that they want early on, rather than making a decision when they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s, before shifting towards, I just want to do something what I love, use my gift, my talents, and what have you, starting them very, very early on. And if you are someone who wants to do that, if you're a father and you're thinking, how can I help my son? How can I help my daughter? Be in the space in which you are confident, and they can be courageous that they will do well. Let's have a conversation. Let me share to you some of the insights that I have and the learnings that I have, and how life coaching can help you as well in child rearing your children as a father. All right. So thank you very much, Master Coach Yasmin. Maraming salamat for always supporting Coach Marifet. Thank you, and tagging as well. Maraming pong salamat. Today, I'm going to talk about self-leadership. No, for the last couple of years, I've talked about this, and then I kind of stopped talking about this for some time. I went to a journey. For the last 2 years, I've been journeying along. For those of you who's watching, I am mentally challenged. I have a mental health condition, and one of the biggest challenge that I have that I'm working towards with is managing my emotions. My response in the emotion is so extreme. It's either I'm super emotional, or I'm what my wife would call me insensitive. Yeah. So if you have been called by your wife insensitive, raise your hands. Tell me, yay, that's me. I was called an insensitive person. That is us as man, and that's totally okay. That's totally okay. Before I was completely ignoring that, but I needed to come into a space of awareness and acknowledgement and action that, hey, it's true. That was what I was exuding to my spouse. That what I was exuding to my children, my parents, other people, and in the people I lead in the workforce. That's also what I am doing, and I needed to make that necessary change for me to journey along and to find out where the lack of emotional connection is coming from. Now, for men out there, no, well, for most of the men out there, that is the challenge that we have. For the daughters in here. I mean, most of those commenting are the daughters. Think about the last time in which your father, your dad, your papa ever shared to you their emotions. I mean, they're really shared. They started crying, what have you. I haven't experienced that with my father, but I love my father, by the way. He's just like that. He doesn't know any better. All of us, even me, have been raised in a culture in which men who shares emotions, shares their deepest thoughts and desires, is not a good thing. It's not welcome in our society right now, where we need to put all of this emotion box in a space in which it's avoid at all costs because it's not manly of us. And as I continue along in a journey and parking this self leadership, I began to understand and start reflecting on what is it that allowed me to be successful. What's it that allowed me to have a better relationship with my spouse, to have a better relationship with my children, because I'm physically present, but I'm emotionally, spiritually, and most of the time mentally absent. So that is something that self leadership would allow you to do. Now, this today, when I was creating, thinking about what topic do I want to talk about, I had this aha moment, and I have a conversation with my wife, Coach Tin, and we're reflecting on asking her, what is it that I need to start talking about, because I feel that the conversations that I am having every single day with people, and also during my coaching think talks, I'm thinking about, is that really me, or is there more? And she reminded me about self leadership. So I began to start writing down. So this is something that I started doing, and it's, mind you, I don't write that much. I put everything in my head. That's why my head is overloaded with a lot of different things. I've learned, write things down in a piece of paper so that you can unload some of the brains that you have. So some tips that I'm sharing to you. And we've been talking about it, and you shared to me the value of self leadership. Talk to me about self leadership, and I was reminded about that, and I reflected on it. I was like, yeah, well, most of the things that I did in my corporate career, and the reason why I got promoted to a director, executive level role in a decade, is because of self leadership. And that is, when you talk about self leadership, you talk about yourself, you talk about how you think, how you feel, and how you act. And this is something that is a reminder, and I'm thankful for my wife, of course, for processing me in there, and also to God, who just reminds me, because there's a voice in my head that's constantly reminding me, hey, why not start talking about self leadership. And I was very, very into this self leadership, because I fully understand how important self leadership is for the men out there. I want to talk to the men out there, and for the spouse who's joining it, for the woman, you know have a conversation with me as well, because you need to learn this as well, so you can help your husband, you can help your future husband, you can help your boyfriend, you can help your father as well. Have a conversation with them about self leadership, because this is something that, when you fully understand, where you're aware of it, it's much seamless conversation. Thank you, Coach Candy, for joining. Maraming salamat. Yep. Yeah, Coach Trisha, self leadership. Coach Orville, thank you very much for joining me. Now, think about the stories that you tell yourself. What are the stories that you tell yourself? Every time you are alone, every time you're at work, every time you're with your family members, every time that you are with your friends. Like, what do you tell yourself specifically? What kind of conversations that you're having with yourself? Because in this hyper social world, and when I say it super hyper, if you take a look at the number of people that is using Facebook, using Instagram, using Twitter, using all of these digital platforms, there's a lot of information, and there's a lot of conversation happening in there. And then, you can easily, if you read something, and you're thinking about these thoughts, and you read something in the social media, you would start crafting a lot of different version about how you see yourself, which is, most of the time, is not true. For most of the time, the things that you think about yourself, it's not true. Like, you would say that you're not good enough, you're not successful, you're not able to do all of these things. Your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your children is not good, and all of these different things. And as you continue to feed all of this negativity that you have, it becomes you. So think about the times in which you also question your abilities. You questioned, when you were pursuing your goals, you were pursuing aspiration in your life, and you started questioning yourself, is this really what I want, or is this, would I rather throw in the towel? I saw this post from Master Coach A, which talks about some commentaries in which, people would tend to, one of the reasons why entrepreneurs or businessmen are not successful, which is I think it was 99%. I'm not sure. For the coaches who's watching, maybe you can put that in the comment. I think it was 99% of the people. The reason why they're not successful, because when they're near they lack the patience and persistence at first for them becoming successful. And the second comment in there is when they're near, the tipping point, when they're just gonna, pass that, they quit. So they're not able to see the result that they want. And that's something that, I've realized as well. And one of the reasons why a lot of people in the workplace are not moving, in the corporate world, being promoted, or, being able to be courageous, quitting their job and doing something that is meaningful and fulfilling to them, is because they have this different conversations that they're happening in their minds, and they start fearing. Unfortunately, all of these conversations that we have, we choose to have this conversation. So that means that we can also choose to not have this conversation. You can start to focus on promoting positivity. You can focus on positive beliefs that helps you become successful in everything that you do in your life. You can start utilizing or navigating through the mindset you have towards removing all of these different conflicts that you have in your mind and also in your heart. And it's possible, but you cannot do it alone. And this is where the value of self leadership comes in. Self leadership is about owning and being able to dissect. Yeah, owning first, owning something, and being able to dissect the stories we tell about ourselves. Um, when I was growing up, I remember a time in which my mom would buy me these toy cars because I like cars. Even today, I like cars. It's just because of priorities change, so you tend to park all of those hobbies that you have, which is very very expensive, by the way. I remember a time in which I wanted to double up my vehicle that I spent many many thousands of pesos just for me to have that enjoyable moment. So that's what I do. My mom would buy me these toys. I remember those cars, Matchbox ata yun. We call that Matchbox Superchargers. I don't know if you remember that. Coach Orville, have you had that experience before where you've been bought a Matchbox Supercharger? So I have that. And what I would do is when I get it, I got interested and I would, dissect it. I would remove the tires, I would remove the housing, I would remove the casing because I want to see what's inside. I want to see what's inside in there, and trying to understand what it is. And the more that I reflect on that, the more I was able to raise awareness on what I'm doing and also acknowledge that I was like that before. It gives me a different perspective of what my life is. And the more that we continue to challenge all of these things, because, unpacking it or dissecting it is challenging how, you create your world, you create your thoughts, you create your ideas, you create your emotions, and all of these different things so that you understand where the feeling, the thinking, and the action is coming from. And the more that you're able to understand that, the more that you're able to respond in ways that returns a positive result. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of self leadership. And when you can start to develop that, you start having this conversation, you have start feeling that, hey, I think I have some opportunities in here that I need to develop, and you start opening up your mind, and you get excited that, oh, there's something that I realized that I haven't realized before, just being passive about all of the things that's happening in my life. Thank you, Bridget, for joining. Coach Kulin, maraming salamat. Self-leadership is about being proactive. It's about being proactive and being thoughtful about your experiences and your relationship. Now, think about the experiences that you have right now, the experiences that you have with your work, the experiences that you have with your relationship, the experiences that you have with your spouse, your children. Are you proactively Are you proactive and thoughtful about those experiences that you want to have with them? Is it something that you are intentional about it, that you want to leave something behind, or it's just, the things that you're doing is something that because you need to do it? If you have different choices, you would rather go to sleep for X amount of hours only to wake up still feeling tired, right? Self leadership is also about understanding our past failures, our past successes, so that you can be intentional about your actions today that builds a better future. So it's not forgetting your past. It's not you know, it's not discounting the past, because that's the past is what defined you today, but it will not define you in the future. No, no, no. It defines you today. So who you are today is because of the decisions that you make from the past, is the experiences that you had in the past, is the things that you've learned from the past. And that's totally fine. Whether that's good, that's bad, that's something that you regretted, that's something that you have felt, that shame, guilt, all of these different negative emotions that you would have, that's totally okay. Because that one strengthens you, that one empowers you, that one gives you the courage in which to say that, hey, I've done a lot of different things in my life. Some of the things are a little bit, lack of a better term, shitty, but that's okay. I have awareness right now. I acknowledge all of those things, and I can start acknowledging it and taking action. And for you, for those of you who's a leader, you cannot lead others if you cannot lead yourself. Like, how can we coach people about their relationship, about their performance at work, about the way that they're communicating with other people, when we, in fact, as leaders, are not able to work and develop on this? And how can we intentional about all of these things? Because when we're starting to be aware of our what, being aware of our why, and being aware of our how, it will allow us to be, as I've said, intentional about determining the kind of relationship and the kind of experiences that you want for yourself and your family. Self leadership is intentionally guiding yourself towards your original design. So, what is your original design? And that is a constant struggle for men out there. I'm not sure for the woman out there who's watching. That is a challenge. What is my original design? What am I born to do in this world? Because most of the things that we've experienced and the way that we're showing up, well, I call it a facade that we created. It's a way for us to protect ourselves, to survive. But what does it look like for you to live a thriving life? Because you have talents, you have skills, all of these things that you can hone, develop, so that you're living a meaningful and fulfilling life. So, what is the talents and skill that you have? For the last more than 3 months, I'm going to turn fourth year in May in life coaching. So, I was certified back in 2018, back in May. So, in May this year, it's going to be my fourth year anniversary. And one of the things I've realized, and I've constantly started investing in myself, and I think I spent million na in learning, which I haven't invested for the last 14 years of my career in the corporate world. I only started doing that when I got certified as a life coach. There's a lot of learnings that you need to do. There's a lot of realizations. There's a lot of openness in the mind that you have, and you think about it. Oh, what happened? What did I miss? What did I lose sight of? And what are things that you can start working on? Because that is something so beautiful. And for the people at work, and I've experienced this, many people come to work because they feel that they need to prove things to their parents, they need to prove things to other people, they need to prove things because they don't want to disappoint other people, only to, at the end of the day, or in the latter part of their lifetime, they would be disappointed with the result that they have. you know People would pursue status, fame, money, power, all of these different things, and you see that, but still they live a miserable life. They're not able to have that emotional connection with their children. They're disconnected with their spouse. They have friends, but when something happened to you, your friends are gone. And these are the things that we struggle with. And they're not able to use their god-given gifts and talents to do the things that they love. Like if you remove all of this, need to people please, or not need nga, want to people please, what is it that you want to do? If you are in the space in which people are celebrating your talents, your skill, honing that, helping you out develop it, what is it that you want to do in your life? This is the reason why it's important for us to put our value first in the things that inspires us, or the goals that we set for ourselves, because you know that value is your true north. I call it your true north, your guiding principles. You can term that in other different ways, but that value of yours gives you the clarity of why you do what you do. So why do you do what you do, and is that really allowing you to live that life that you want? What I'm going to share to you is five things you need to do to develop and strengthen your self leadership. Just five. Yeah, very simple lang to. If you need support in here, you want to talk more about this, let me know. Let's have a conversation. Thank you, Coach Lacey, for sharing your insight. Coach C, maraming salamat. Self-leadership is guiding yourself to your original design. Yes, that is what self-leadership. Again, be aware of your what and your why. Five things that you need to develop to strengthen your self-leadership. Number one is a sense of who you are. Who are you? There's a movie of Jackie Chan called Who Am I? I think it was police. He went to a certain country, tapos medyo na alog yung ulo niya. He kind of forget who he was. That's a movie. Who are you? Like, who are you? Not who are you, but of course, your past is a good reference of who are you, but also what your original design is. So that is one. Who are you? Number two, strengthen a sense of what you can do. Like, what are the things that you can do? Most of the time we're limited about the work that we're doing when we ask what you do. But beyond the work that you're doing, what can you do? I remember when I was a child, one of the things I liked doing is drawing some, line and so on. And because the class was boring, I forgot what the subject is. The class was boring. I was drawing with my friend. And our teacher, caught us, nahuli kami. So our teacher asked us, stay after, have a conversation. So we stayed in there, and our teacher asked us to draw her face. So we did. Oh, I was excited. Oh, siyempre, kabado ka, di ba? I was excited to draw it. Then after a few minutes, I showed it to her, and she said to me, "Do, ang pangit ng drawing mo. Don't never do that again." So I totally stopped that. It was like, okay, I'll just stop. But I really like doing it. And when I became a certified life coach, I start, developing that again. And I hope that was, honed me growing up. I probably would be as good as my daughter who's doing animation. Again, if you want to get some engagement with my daughter, and, if you want to have yourself drawn and, converted into a digital character, message us here. We will help you. And that is something that, I park, and I thought I'd forgotten about that, but that is something that I can do outside of the work that I have, because at work, all of the things that I do are analytics. I can analyze things. I can see numbers. I would know what's going to be the projected, what's going to be the outcome. I can read all of that, and I can even do that with people, that, hey, if you start doing this, if you don't change, this would happen to you. But outside of that, I was not able to hone that. And it is something that you can continue to develop to strengthen your self leadership. Number three is a sense of where you are going. Where are you going? What direction is that? If you paint a picture of that space, what does that look like? What does that feel like? You know, what does the smell like? Taste like? You know, if you touch it, what does it feel like? All of these different things, these three, the sense of where you are going. Four is strengthen your ability to influence your communication. You know, in anything that we do as human being, communication is key. And currently, I'm converting this towards conversation, because I can communicate in a one way, public speaking, motivational speaking, what have you. But in coaching, it talks about conversation. Let's have meaningful conversation, a coaching conversation because it's two-way. So the ability for you to influence your communication towards conversation allows you to strengthen your self-leadership, because the more that you're intentional about the words that you speak, the more intentional about what you need to develop with yourself. And lastly, number five, your ability to manage your emotions and behavior that gets in the way of you living a meaningful and fulfilled life. There are certain emotions that hinder you from creating a relationship that thrives. There are also behaviors that hinders you from enjoying the current relationship that you have, because at times you fear that, the things that you're doing, you might have the same experience that you had before, and you would protect yourself at all costs only to cost the relationship, only to cost that friendship. So how are you managing all of these things? Because the more that you're able to be intentional, which uh, coach th- there's a coach that teaches us intentional living, which is called Coach Nords, and that is something, if you want to live, intentional living, you can reach out to her. But being intentional about where you're going, how you're responding, how you're showing those emotions, how you're accepting your emotions when in that fact, allows you to just hold on a minute. What kind of experiences in a relationship do you want to create? And is that space allowing me to thrive rather than surviving? In anything that we do in life, the toughest way to manage is not our spouse. It's not. The toughest way, the toughest person or thing to manage is not your children. It's not the people that you work with. It's not your parents. That's not it. The toughest person and the toughest way to manage is yourself, ourselves. That is the toughest person to manage. Other people you can manage so easily, but us, that's gonna be so much challenging. But the beauty of it is there's an option for you to support you so that you can manage yourself, and doesn't need to be tough. Because when you're fully committed to continue on cultivating yourself intentionally, you're able to encourage yourself to learn more about who you are. Because as you learn more who you are, you gain confidence because you understand your strength. You acknowledge your weakness, but you focus on the strength that you have. You clarify your values, and eventually you have the courage to speak your thoughts and your emotions in ways that allows you to live a legacy today. So are you ready to develop your self-leadership? When you're ready, message us here at Life Coach Philippines, or you can contact me at 0917-569-4200. Let's have a conversation. Let me help you out in your journey and finally live that meaningful and fulfilling life. As I end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing as our organization of professional certified life coaches. If you are not yet a smart holder of the Be Learning e-card and you're still missing on the perks that we enjoy today, this is the best time for you to take action. Connect with Coach Russell to 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society. It's a tent maker of the Be Learning Home for Mental Fitness. And what you will get out of this is you will get to enjoy a 5% food and beverage discount from Cup Coffee Republic. You also get a full access to the Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach Shaun, happening every fourth Saturday of the month, plus a benefit of a 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And the advantage of you supporting us in the Be Learning Society, you get to take advantage of the Mental Model Masterclass. Did you know that development is highly counterintuitive? Of course, until you learn what it is, then it becomes really intuitive. Developmental mental models unlock the transformation and reinvention in any individual, and understanding these models will help you achieve things in a highly leveraged way so that you learn to level up how you do things in life. Say the date on March 26th at 7:30 p.m. for our next Mental Model Masterclass, as Master Coach A will teach about the developmental growth mental model. For more information and your registration assistance, connect with Coach Rizal, 0917-586-1661. For individuals who intend on becoming or journeying on becoming a certified life coach, Master Coach A is now offering the co-actively co-create life coach certification program. This is what changed my life back in 2018. Master Coach A is offering this with a CPD accredited course with 40 CPD unit. CPD is all about learning new things. That's refreshing your knowledge by doing new things. That this is what makes the CACC Life Coach Certification Program the perfect tack for your continuing professional development. And life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains and thereby increasing their relevance in the increasingly complex workplace. Of course, what you will get out of this is a 21-day online learning journey, a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, and a 3-day live business bootcamp with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And the program also comes with packages that are bonus. You see that in the screen. So please connect with Coach Cell 0917-586-1661 to discover opportunities waiting for you in this profession. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're able to learn some nuggets and wisdom in here. Share that in the digital space. The best way for you to retain more of the you learn is to teach. Learn to teach. Learn to teach. That is the best way for you. Post that. Share that with someone else. Give someone a blessing. All right. Do join us again for another coaching conversation tomorrow with at Cage Life with Coach Glacy. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Coaching for Single Living with Coach Mao at 2 p.m. and Coaching for Mental Fitness with Coach Candy. Yan, nakita mo, Coach Candy Teng yan, at 4 p.m. Okay? Do join me again next Thursday at 4 p.m. Same space for the new episode of Coaching for Inspired Fidelity. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about 7 guidelines for leading from within. 7 guidelines for leading from within. Once again, this is Life Coach Shaun from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching TikTok. Coaches like us think and talk like this, and this is us in the Philippines. Labang boom. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag-and-drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag-and-drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.